welcome back to If Plants Could Talk. This is Garrett. I'm your host. This conversation took place on March 23rd, 2024, with my very special guest, Mike of @Nobodie. You guys might be familiar with him on Instagram as @no_buddy. Mike is a fellow member of the plant community and the adjacent rock and crystal community. He's out there all the time with Freeze, who's been a repeated guest here. He's a friend of the show. He's out there with Freeze all the time, hounding, prospecting different rocks and crystals, and he offers them only on his Instagram, so you have to follow him @no_buddy. Buddy is spelled BODIE @Nobodie. He's no one, but he's everyone, and he's someone, and he's one of us, and he's an amazing human being, man. It was such a beautiful conversation. It's the first podcast in I think like 3 months, and this is the exact type of person that I started this show for, and he was very open and has a very inspiring story of the things that he's overcome: homelessness, his first-hand experience with homelessness, addiction being in his family, living in Slab City out there in the desert. He works in the cannabis industry too. He's a grower of cactus and succulents, and has a strong connection with nature and just a beautiful outlook on life, man. So I'll let the episode do the talking on that. You guys are really going to enjoy this one, I think, but proceed with caution. You know, we did touch on some very sensitive topics, but we also talked a lot about solution and just like kindness and treating others well. And he's just an awesome human being. So I want to take a moment to tell you guys about my sponsors and partnerships. If you scroll down into the description of this episode, you will find links to Mezcala Nursery, located in Long Beach, California; Green Touch Nursery, located in Bellflower, California. Big shout out to plantly.io. You can type in plantly.io into your web browser or download the free Plantly app on Android or iOS. If you are interested in becoming a vendor, I have provided a link for you to do so down in the description. I sell with Plantly. I've got some trichos on there. I've also got some other columnar cacti that I need to list. You can find me on Plantly as Earthling Botanical. And next up is Real Mushrooms. Real Mushrooms is a mushroom supplement company offering hot water extracts in both powder and capsule form. You may be familiar with all of these amazing mushrooms and their health benefits like lion's mane, chaga, reishi, shiitake, maitake, cordyceps. All these mushrooms that have been used for thousands of years in Chinese herbal medicine. If you want to learn more, check out Real Mushrooms, or if you're ready to make a purchase, use my link down in the description or type in code If Plants Could Talk at checkout, and you will get 10% off your order. I think that's correct. I don't know. It's been a while since I've done this. 10% off your order, some kind of discount on your order. Check them out. And next up is PlantWave. PlantWave is a device that translates the electrical frequencies and patterns that your plant creates. In other words, the water moving through your plant creates an electrical frequency, and that is then translated into sound and melodies, music, using the PlantWave device and the PlantWave app. You hook up 2 electrodes to the plant or mushroom, and you can tune out of the world and tune into your plants. I'm going to stitch in a little video here of some mushroom music. Big shout out to Joe Patitucci. He's the creator of PlantWave. We also did an episode together in the past. You can go back and try to find it and learn more. The things that you can do with this device are literally endless. You can record it and you can make videos, you can broadcast it. Some people plug it into MIDI and use it to produce their music. So definitely check them out. If you're ready to make a purchase, you can use the link. There is no code necessary. Just click the link and you will get $15 off your PlantWave device. And next up is Bad Goose Botanicals. Bad Goose Botanicals is offering a supplement powder that is a nootropic. And one of the products they offer is called Flow State. And it offers exactly that, a state of flow. It is made out of lion's mane, ginseng, and Mitragynous speciosa or kratom. If you are sober curious or looking for an alternative to alcohol and other substances, there are tons of testimonials out there of people utilizing this plant medicine is what it is, and abstaining from other substances. I have firsthand experience with that, and it's helped me out a lot. If you want to just get Metragenous speciosa by itself, they also offer that. They have a green Ming dot. Click the link or type in code if plants could talk at checkout, and you will get 15% off your order. All right, here is Mike.
Yeah, man. So, my name's Michael. A lot of people know me as No_Buddy on Instagram. I collect cactus and rocks and just kind of enjoy nature, dude. I'm out here in Downey. That's where I grew up. Lived in Long Beach for a little while, then ended up back up here. And yeah, man, just making it day by day. Dude, one day at a time, chilling.
You told me something once that everything is made that you came to the realization that everything is made of rocks. And I'm paraphrasing. Like everything,
Yeah,
when it comes down to it, when you boil it down, everything is made of rocks. Can you explain that statement to me?
yeah, dude, definitely. In this day and age, we're so far removed from the organic properties that everything's constructed from. And when you get down to the nitty gritty, like 90% of our day to day things come from rocks or minerals in some way, shape, or form. The glass on your phone screen is made from silica. The camera lenses are made from rubies and sapphires now. Concrete is everywhere, asphalt. I mean, it's everywhere. It's everywhere you look.
That's
So
fascinating. What brought you to that? What brought you to that realization?
and I was just thinking, man. I'm like, I just was thinking one day. I'm like, I really can't think of one thing or another that doesn't have some form of minerals or rocks in it. Like even wood and trees use minerals to build their bodies. So it all comes from rocks,
It sounds like something I would have come up with when I was tripping on mushrooms.
man. Yeah, dude. Believe it or not, like I may have smoked a bowl of weed or two, but wasn't even tripping when thinking about that. Just came to that realization. 'Cause I think what really did it was dealing with cactus. You come to understand that these guys are rock eaters. They eat minerals, like they depend on it. That's how they survive and grow and form. And so I really thought about it. I'm like, every plant kind of does that. And so really, even wood, everything is
As do
some
we,
kind of
right? We need
right,
minerals.
right. Yeah, dude, exactly, dude. Iron, all that, calcium, everything. Everything's a mineral, dude. It's really crazy to think about.
I've never thought about that before.
Yeah, yeah, like even all the metal we use, everything comes from the earth. Everything comes from the earth. Everything will go back to the earth.
You strike me as a very grounded individual, and I feel like you must have had to experience quite a bit to get to that place. Yeah, is that accurate?
Yeah, dude, I definitely didn't have the like nicest upbringing. I had a lot of addicts in my family, including both of my parents. Father,
Mm,
who was a gang member, in and out of prison, didn't really know him much. My
mm.
mom in and out of rehab, was raised by my grandparents with my two brothers. And yeah, dude, it was a lot of struggle and strife, and it still is every day. It's kind of what life is just getting through the hardships to enjoy the fun and greatness of this life. It's all a test, in my opinion. And I'm just here for it, dude. I'm here to experience every part of it, bro. I gotta take the bad with the good with the bad.
That's a good place to be. I wonder what the reward is. Is it just being? Is it experience? Is it this moment? Is that the reward?
Right.
Or is there another reward at the end of this
Yeah, dude.
cycle?
And like if I could have it my way, like, when I pass away, dude, like and my understanding is energy can't be created nor destroyed. I'm just borrowing this energy. I
Yeah.
want to be able to see like the universe on a like cosmic scale and be able to like I want to watch these mountains get formed and valleys get carved out. I want to know why everything happened to like a certain degree. I think that would be really cool. But like at the end of the day, the reality of it is I don't know what's going to happen. I don't think any of us really truly know. And to even try and guess just does a great dishonor to it.
That's true. Yeah. To try to define it or act like you know. I think that somewhere deep, deep inside of our consciousness, though, that we have seen the earth form those mountains.
Hmm.
That's why you long for it, is because it's like a familiar feeling, and you long
Yep.
to see everything, and you are everything at the same time,
Yep.
right?
Yeah,
Where
dude, we're borrowing all this energy right now, like we're just here in this state temporarily. This body's a vessel for something, you know. We all have
Yeah.
our purpose here, and it's up to us to kind of find it and define it, you know.
Sure. Sure. Do you have any form are you trying to be like non-conformist, or do you have some form of structural belief in when it comes to spirit and energy? Like, do you believe in higher self, or do you believe in some form of higher power? Is it just energy? Can you explain your belief
Yeah,
system?
dude, like generally I believe there's some form of higher powers, some form of higher beings, higher energy, something out there, There's a lot of like that's just crazy that that happened that way, in this world. Like I believe there is some kind of grand design to things, whether or not we're meant to understand it in this form or not is completely, out the window kind of deal. But I tend not to put labels on things. I'm a big fan of not putting labels on things. Labels
Mm,
make us conform. And yeah, I'm not a big conformist. You could tell by how I look. I don't really want to fit into society standards of anything. I'm here to exist, bro. I'm here for the ride.
love that. That's why we're having this conversation right now, brother, because I've had brief moments with you. Once was at
Hmm.
GT Nursery, and another one was at my place. And
Hmm.
I know you're close to Frieza, and Frieza is like, a brother to me. And I think that's a beautiful perspective you have. Like, and when you say like design, man, it's true. Like think about the fact that I was listening. Did you listen to Cat Williams on recently? He had an interview with Joe Rogan.
Oh, I've definitely seen some clips of it. I haven't gotten to
Yeah,
watch the whole thing.
he's super woke, dude. He's like
Dude,
talking
yeah,
about
no, Cat Williams is a really smart person. Like he
right.
is intelligent beyond but he's seen the industry, he sees what it does, and so he's seen a lot of that back end of things, and that definitely opens people's eyes.
Yeah, man. It's like when you look at the Fibonacci sequence and like the distance from the sun and the moon, and if they were even slightly altered, like we wouldn't exist, and the way
Yep.
that everything had to happen perfectly for us to end up being here right now having this conversation, and like the
It's
plants that have receptors, our body has receptors for all these different plants. That's the most fascinating thing to me. Like the cannabinoid
yeah,
receptor is one
dude.
example.
Yeah, dude, like each human has their own specific endocannabinoid system,
Yeah.
and so, I work in the cannabis industry. And so
Mm,
I explain a lot to people, like what works for me may not work for you. Like that's part of this medicine is trying different things and finding what terpene spectrums work for you, what kind of plants work for you, because you're bound to find something. People talk about weed like, oh, you get high. Like, yeah, that's cool, man. But to me, I get medicated, dude. Like, I function off of this. And if I don't have it, it's not that I can't function. It's just I feel like I function a bit better on it, and I lack certain chemical compounds in my brain, and this plant helps me make up for it.
absolutely, bro. Full spectrum CBD was a game changer for me when I was in the midst of like severe PTSD and anxiety, to the point where it was crippling. That was the one thing that leveled me out, man. And like
Yeah,
I
dude.
know so many people that it's helped with seizure disorders and RSO oil for cancer, like
Yeah, man.
suppository or Rick Simpson oil
Yep.
for cancer treatment, and that actually making it so that extending my partner's mom's life so that she could eat, in
Yeah, dude.
terminal illness.
It's definitely something that like I wish I was a bit older for because my grandmother, dealt with lung cancer, and it
Mm,
was stage 4 by the time they found it. Like she was on her way out by the time anyone knew, and by the end of it, she was a 80-pound woman, like not eating, just going through it. And I really wish like I could have been there to educate her and help her through that, because I was 8 years old, and
right.
that's right around the time when I started smoking cannabis and really getting into the cannabis world. I know it's looked down upon, like children using cannabis in this world, but then you
Sure.
look at like kids who have like severe like disorders, and it helps them, not even like getting high, but using other cannabinoids besides just THC. There's hundreds of cannabinoids in these plants and other plants too. People just look to basic pharmaceuticals and try to like not realize that we have this long past history with using plants and medicinal herbs to help.
Yeah, man, and it's beautiful that so many people are waking up to it and like rediscovering it.
Hmm.
And like you said earlier, that there might be a profile that's better for you as an individual. It's like in the same way that like some people have adverse reactions to one plant, another may have like a huge see huge benefits to another.
Hmm.
And as much as I like the old school, like I try to I kind of shy away from these things that you're talking about, like terpene profiles. I don't quite understand it, and I haven't looked
Hmm.
into it. But I now that you're saying this, it makes sense to me that like expanding on the science and getting to understand these little aspects is probably a positive thing for
Yeah,
individuals that are looking for to heal in certain ways.
definitely, definitely. You know, man, like when I'm at work, I really enjoy like the 80-year-old grandma who comes in and is like, "Oh, I can't sleep at night. I have horrible arthritis. Like, please help." Like that's the
Mm,
customer I like helping, man, because like I'm making a difference in their life, whether it's a small one or a huge one. But like I deal with insomnia. I know how it is to not be able to sleep. And so just being able to like give these people their basic like human like things back, that like they've been lacking because of their ailments. It's like that makes a big difference to me, for
yeah,
sure.
brother. And in the same sense on with the fungus too, like with the Alzheimer's, the promising research in the Alzheimer's with the
Yeah,
lion's
dude.
mane and the psilocybin mushrooms and the mental. Not to mention, we've been talking about medical usage, but for mental health, man, that's where I've seen the greatest benefit between rediscovering these plants and herbs. And you can just go to a library. My local library has so many books on herbalism, and I've
Hmm.
learned so much just since I've been out here in the last couple of years. I've discovered so much, and I've been able to pick different plants and try them out and make teas and
Hmm.
extracts and stuff like that. Put it in alcohol, fermentation.
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
I feel
that's
good
so
because of
awesome.
it. I feel good
Yeah,
because of it.
and dude, like we take a lot of things for granted. Right now in this age, we have a phone. Boom, I have all this information like just available at the end of my fingertips, but we really squander it away on a lot of things, and there may be a point where we don't have these things available to us. So learning these things are going to be super helpful, like just basic what you can eat, what you can't eat,
Yeah.
what'll make you sick. Like, no, you could take somebody out to a forest and like bring food, and 9 out of 10 people will be like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah,
Right.
it's just crazy, how disconnected that the average person is from nature and the reality of this world.
And you don't have to go more further back than one generation to find people in our ancestry,
Yeah,
maybe two
that's
at the
what's really
most
crazy.
that were
Hmm.
like super savvy, super,
Yeah,
super savvy at canning and jarring and fermentation and storing and
definitely. My
dry food.
grandmother and great grandmother, lived through the Great Depression, dude. So like they
Right.
knew some real struggle, and like they knew how to make things last. And it's just, yeah, dude, it's a lost art for sure.
Yeah, man. One might call me a mini prepper, since that was like the whole idea of me moving to like a rural area, and that's
Hmm.
kind of I started stocking food. I have a lot of dry
Yeah, dude.
food, and trying to learn these things, man. But it'll take a lifetime to get the
Yeah, dude.
information that I need.
Definitely, and that's kind of our job, is like just to keep it going, and it's not like hoping for the worst. A lot of people say like preppers are hoping for the worst and stuff like that. It's like, no, dude, I'm not hoping for the worst. It's just I know how bad things can get really fast in this world, like
Look at the pandemic.
especially.
Look what happened during
Yeah,
the
yeah,
pandemic.
exactly, man. People are going crazy for toilet paper, shooting each other. It's like that's madness, like
Yeah, man.
for no reason, dude, no reason at all. Like it's artificial, like struggle that these people are implementing on us to cause distress, and just be ready, just be prepared, make sure you got your family and your own people, and everybody will be solid, take care of each other, show some compassion. It's another thing that this world seems to be lacking a lot of, is like compassion, empathy, sympathy. Just
Yeah,
treating humans like humans, man. I see it every day where like just people can be shit, but people could be awesome too. It's the
yeah.
duality of man.
Well, I think it's that conformist uh part of us that we were talking about earlier, is that people don't realize when they choose one side or the other, they're actually conforming. And they're turned against each other. And
Hmm.
you can't call us conspiracy theorists anymore when you look around the world and we say, hey, shit's hitting the fan. Like maybe
Hmm.
we should be making moves and protecting our families and taking the proper precautions and preparing. All it takes is one blip.
Yep.
Like if the power, they said that if the power goes out for 30 days, like a huge percentage of the population is going to die because we're not going to have grocery stores. Or
Nope.
if there's a transportation interruption and our food's, not making it to the grocery store, 90% of us are fucked.
Well, you seen what happened when that ship got stuck in the Suez Canal. It was like, dude, it shut down half the world for like a month,
Yeah, dude.
and but then you had people complaining about their Amazon packages being delivered late when like you had people dying like from that incident. It's all
Yeah.
relative, man. It really goes back to a huge disconnect. We're so busy living behind these screens all the time and trying to keep up with the Joneses. Like that's why I choose not to really compare myself to others too much and just I'm chilling. I don't have no
Sure.
crazy like credit card debts or anything. I don't own school loans. Like relatively, I'm just here minding my own business, keeping on my own, and just trying to do what I gotta do.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's easy to get caught up in like being alarmist and like, wanting to wake people up or something like that,
Hmm.
and especially with social media. Like, I found myself lately, especially, I have so uninterested in social media. And fell victim to that, especially during the pandemic, where like I put my fucking whole life online and this was a big thing. And like,
Hmm.
now it's like, I haven't podcasted in 3 months and I'm perfectly okay with that,
Right.
like
Right.
just
Yeah,
like
exactly, dude.
taking a big step back and really limited how much interaction with people online. And it's just it's not it just doesn't sit well with me. It
Yeah,
doesn't
dude.
feed the soul being online.
It's it's freeing living in the moment, dude. Being able to just like, hey, I'm here. This is okay. I don't need to take pictures every 5 seconds. I don't need to record this whole
Right.
thing. Like, you got it up here. And if it's not meant to be up here, then, it's okay. Like, it's all right. Not everything is meant to be captured. Like, some things are just meant to be lived in the moment, for sure.
Absolutely, especially moments with your children, man.
Yeah,
I
dude,
can't
family.
stress
Like,
that enough. Yeah.
dude,
Yeah.
it's
But I
crazy,
also, on the flip side, I understand longing for connection, and it's no judgment to anybody that is putting their whole life online or
Right,
is
right.
it is big part of their identity or a part of their life or their hobby, whatever. And a lot of people make a living off of it. I used to,
Definitely, dude. Like,
but
like I'm definitely like, what's the word I'm looking for? Dude, I'm an oxymoron, bro. I say these things, but then I do a lot of stuff online too, and
sure,
I create content and media, and I definitely share bits of my life with the online community, because
right.
that's what it is. We do have a community, and so it is nice being able to keep up and catch up with people and build those connections for sure. That's the positive of social media to me, is making these connections for sure.
Yeah, no, it's a beautiful space for us to come together, and it really probably helped a lot of us get through some really tough times, man.
Hmm.
During the peak of that. Like one of my friends, I noticed his account was gone the other day, so I messaged him, I texted him, and I was like, "Is everything all right?" And he's like, "Yeah, I just found myself like getting lost in that shit, dude. And I found myself like comparing myself a lot, and so I just
Hmm.
decided to take a step back for a while, and I totally respect that, man. Like I feel that, especially right now. That's like I don't know, there's that part of me
Yeah,
that's
dude.
worried about the future, and I'm like, well, why don't I want to spend my time online?
Yeah, right. Like my time is finite.
Right.
Why am I going to put my energy and resources into something that's temporary? But I get it, dude. Like again, during like that whole COVID thing, like it's crazy how like our media just drove like poaching out the wall because everybody was comparing their plants to like, look at
Right.
this crazy 300-year-old cinerea, and I need one of those. It's like, but do you really? Like, do you really need one of those? Like,
Right.
chances are you're gonna kill it anyways. Like, leave it where it's supposed to be, man. Collect some seed, grow your own plants.
Yeah,
And
man.
so like it's just insane how everybody was trying to get their hands on all these plants and people were paying like thousands of dollars for golf ball sized plants. Like, what's going on? Like this is mad, you know?
Yeah, that there was a big artificial boost in the
Hmm.
plant marketplace, and I benefited from it. But then it crashed, you know, like when everyone went
Yep.
back to work, I was like, oh, I'm gonna quit my job or I'm gonna sell full plants full time. That was a fucking pipe dream. Like it chilled out big time, you
Yeah.
know. Like I don't spend my money on plants anymore, hardly at
No.
all,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah. Exactly, dude. Like
You know,
I still buy plants, but like I try and find, I have my niche now. Like I'm a big fellow cactus guy. So like if I see a fellow cactus here and there, I'll pick it up. Like
sure,
I go for the weird balls and the oddities. I'm not out here spending like 500-600 bucks every time I go to a nursery to get any plant I can get my hand on, you know? And I feel
yeah.
like a lot of us kind of fell prey to that, where it was like, just get them, just get it all. Like, spend that money, boost that
Mm-hmm.
serotonin, get those dopamine receptors going.
Show it to everyone.
Yeah, the money was given to us for free anyways. It's government money. It's not
Right.
real. It's monopoly money. We can spend it. And
Yeah.
so like you had all these people just come into this hobby really suddenly and spending huge quantities of money, and then now it's like, well, what do I do with this $500 plant that just sits on my table? It's like, did you really enjoy this hobby, these plants, and like what they stand for, or are you just here to like spend money and flex plants
Yeah, bro.
online? And like
Yeah, bro.
we got a fair share of it, of all of that in the community, and it's cool. Like, hey,
That,
dude, if that's what it takes to get you into plants, then like by all means. But like, I hope people take that and further it.
that's the exact vibe that I was talking about earlier. That makes me want to fucking throw my phone against the wall or off a cliff and never touch it again. You know, and I came to the realization that like our connection to plants has nothing to do with possessing them. It's like I don't need them. I don't
Hmm.
need to own them or have them for me to feel that same love and connection for them, you know? And like
Right.
you benefited and helped me out, brother. Like I sold 90% of my plants and gave them all away so that I could move away. And not just
Right.
plants, every possession I ever had, every electronic, anything that I could that was of worth any value or taking up too much space, I sold it and gave it away. And I gave you a shitload of plants and thank you for taking
Yep.
them, man, because
Yeah, dude. And I still
I'm
have
glad they're in
a
a good
ton of those
hands.
plants. I have a ton of them still, dude. A lot of them ended up in my collection in art. Gave a few away. Dude, just spread it out, man. Spread it out.
Righteous. I would love to
Yeah,
hear about some these energy and resources that you were talking about that you're what are you pouring your energy and resources into now? Like what is it that you're doing that is bringing you joy? Like some of your hobbies.
definitely, man. Just I love my plants, man. I love walking out into my garden every day, dude, and just kind of seeing what's new, what's going on with them. It sucks walking out to some heartbreaks occasionally, and you find something rotted, or especially with all this rain we've been having. But dude, I feel like this hobby can teach you a lot about life. Like
Mm,
we're sitting here trying to replicate these conditions for these plants to grow in, and sometimes you replicate the conditions perfectly and the plant still dies, and then other times you neglect the plant and it's not in the ideal condition and it thrives. It shows a lot of humanity in that to me. Like just because we're given everything we need to be set up to success doesn't mean we will, and just because we're held back and beaten down in life doesn't mean we won't succeed. And so
mm.
it's a cool like comparative to me. Like these are all living beings right here, man, and they're gonna make it or they're not. And it's cool watching them grow. I definitely still get out and do as much rock hounding as I can. But just working, definitely been working a lot, man. Trying to climb the corporate ladder in a sense.
Mm.
Um, so a lot of energy, time has been put into that. But it's cool. I love my job, man. I get to sell weed legally. Like 10 years
Who would have
ago, like
thought that?
yeah, yeah, dude. Like 10 years ago when I'm a fucking 13-year-old smoking out of a water bottle bong I made, like, I would have never thought, man, never in 100 years that like I would just be selling weed legally without having to worry about going to jail or anything. It's cool. It's a blessing, honestly, man. Like for sure, for sure. It's a crazy industry though. It's cutthroat.
Yeah, I bet. But it's a great if you're gonna have to do the Matrix job, bro. Like that's to me that sounds like the right place to be because
Yeah,
at least
dude.
it's
At
something
least,
you're passionate about, you're knowledgeable about. It's a part of your
yeah.
life. It's like a lifestyle more so than like a job.
Exactly, dude. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's cool, man. Getting to make these connections with like awesome coworkers. There's this guy I've been hanging out a lot with. His name's Nate. super rad dude that I met from work, man. And like he's been pushing me to be a little go out of my comfort zone, create a little bit more media, and content for people. And
Mm,
dude, it's cool. It's definitely cool, man, being able to like just walk this path in life and just meet all these different people. And like it's insane the kind of people that walk into a dispensary, man. Like you literally have people from all walks of life,
right.
dude. Like he's like, dude, I would never even think you smoked weed, like, but it's like,
Uh-huh.
no, dude, this plant is beneficial, and people are realizing it for sure, man. And it's awesome. It's beautiful to see.
Yeah, man. That's wild, dude. Because like kids these days will never know what we went through, like with cannabis. Like I
Yeah,
was like
dude,
hiding
like,
in deep dark alleys buying weed off of like a burnt out dude off the street, like some burnt out
yeah,
older cat, and like like
it,
paying $20 a gram, and it
yeah,
was
dude,
like have seeds and stems in it sometimes.
it's definitely been weird, bro, because like I'm part of that generation where like the culture shifted, like it
Right,
went from being like don't talk about that, and like we had dare program, and like this is your brain on drugs, like, and all that, to like all of a sudden being like I could just walk into a store and buy weed, like. And so I definitely, I started smoking really young, definitely younger than I would recommend now, even,
sure, me too.
but I was dealing with a lot, the loss of my grandmother, I was on Ritalin and Wellbutrin since the
Hmm.
age of 4 and 6. Like I was going through some dark times, man. And somebody recommended, hey, like, why don't you try smoking weed, man? Like, might help. And it did, dude. It calmed me down. Like I totally shifted my perspective of life on a lot of things. And so like I definitely saw a lot of that early street weed, like the good old Mexican brick weed, and
Yeah.
take it into your bathroom and turn the
Mids.
shower on as hot as you can and try and get some moisture back into it and throw the orange peels in there. And yeah, I
Yeah, the
definitely saw a lot
orange
of
peels, bro.
that. And like definitely I had my fair share of that, smoking out of like a crushed Coke can, like in the homies like garage and shit. But then like I also got a lot of benefits of people who came before me and put in that work and definitely did all that to get it decriminalized, And so
Right.
I did get to reap a lot of the benefits of being a 12, 13-year-old kid. Like back in the day, like, I'd get caught with weed and shit in school, and it's like slap on the wrist, like, versus like 10 years before, even me, it's like, no, like that's bad. Like, you're getting expelled. You're
You're a
going to
failure.
juvenile.
You're
Yeah, like you're
you're
going to
like a
juvenile hall.
junkie.
Yeah, exactly, dude. So I definitely I got that bit of a gray area where I kind of saw both parts of this
Yeah.
culture growing up, and I'm glad I get to be a part of the force that changes people's opinions in this matter, like especially like cannabis, psilocybin, dude. Like I really believe there's a big space for like psychedelic use and like mental health for sure, man. Like,
Huge.
you hear these like MDMA study or MBA studies like on like PTSD veterans, like people who just flip, and then like all of a sudden like they have these huge crazy breakthroughs. Like it's insane, dude. It's really insane
Yeah.
watching. Like I'm glad that like it's finally being taken seriously, and there's actual like people stepping up to the plate and being willing to do this research that like we've all been asking for a long time, you know.
Yeah. Super grateful for that, man. MDMA will be available at the place that I attend therapy and I did the MDMA study at in Los Angeles. They said by the end of this year or early next year, you'll be able to pay privately cash for
That's great.
MDMA therapy, bro.
Dude, that's awesome, dude. Like in my opinion, like there definitely is like a time and place, like a lot of people abuse these substances, like I'm not one for like eating like 6 7 grams of mushrooms and then going to a concert or a show and like tripping on a light show. Like
Sure.
that's like, like this is one of the largest living organisms on this planet, like, and we're tapping into something that's like deeper than any of us know.
Ancient.
It's not something to be played with, it's like this is
Yeah.
this is medicine therapy, like it has a time and place, and so it bums me out seeing how readily available a lot of these things are coming. But then I
Mm.
I I really do understand like it's for a greater cause and benefit, generally.
It's
But
the same thing with cannabis though, too, bro, you
yeah,
know?
exactly, dude. Exactly,
And
exactly.
you know, there's like a yin and yang to it for sure. You know, that's why
For
like
sure.
I long for the old days where there was a black market and I just called my friend for some herb and you know what I mean? Like it's like
And he
simple,
pulled
but
up, and
yeah,
yeah, exactly.
you know, but at the
Nah,
same
dude.
time, now I can go into the store and get it.
Yep, yep. And it's like totally just like walking into a Walmart. It's insane. It's insane.
Yeah. You know, I
But
see these these mushroom people are this is risky. I don't like what I'm seeing with this. It's the Amanita dispensaries. Bro, they're selling
mm,
Amanita
Amanita
in
massage
smoke
for
shops. In
yeah,
smoke
dude.
shops. The smoke shop down the street from my house carries Amanita chocolates and they're
Yeah.
like advertising it as mushrooms. And I'm like, whoa, that's risky,
hmm
bro.
Yep. Yeah, dude. That's the thing, man. Is like trippers have been taking risks forever, though, dude. Like
Sure, but what about some
dude.
kid that walks in there or
Yeah.
like some fucking lady that doesn't know what she's doing?
It doesn't know anything. It just thinks it's a normal chocolate bar and just goes and gets on the train and starts eating it and just goes, oh, dude, yeah. But man, it goes all the way back to like people dark web importing like these like new synthesized compounds from like China and stuff, man, and like doing doses and then putting it
Yeah.
all on the internet for people to read. It's like people are gonna get it no matter what, dude. At the end of the day,
Yeah.
oh, I can't remember who it was. Dude. There was this awesome like psychologist dude who said humans are always going to want to do what's wrong. Like, if dentists really wanted everybody to brush their teeth, you would ban brushing your teeth. And then you'd have 10 people on a roof at 2 in the morning fucking going ham brushing their teeth, just because it's illegal. Something about human nature just wants to rebel and go against, the norm of society. I feel a large part of people want that, but not everybody acts on it, for
Mm.
sure.
You know, and I know this conversation's been beaten to death, dude, but at the same time, I'm right now, as I'm thinking about it, I'm coming to the realization of how important it might be to revive it slash keep it going because, you know, we didn't have these conversations when I was a kid and I was eating an eighth or a quad of mushrooms and not knowing what the fuck I was doing and not having
Mm-hmm.
that respect that you were talking about earlier and like I had some nightmare trips and you know, like not realizing like how powerful this is and what a tool and beautiful tool it is. Like I hope that people continue to have these conversations and then that 14-year-old me in the future gets that perspective so that they don't trip out in some house party with a
Mm-hmm.
bunch of older assholes that are like stepping over
Right.
you, you know,
Right.
while you're
Yeah. Like,
losing your
oh,
mind. You're
yeah.
calling your
Yeah.
mom
Exactly.
crying because you don't know what's going on.
Yeah, because like you ate an eighth of like some golden teachers, and that was totally cool. And then like you pull up to a party, and homeboy's like, "Eat these," and it's like an eighth of like some crazy white reaper death, fucking like dude, and like the psilocybin contents like way,
No,
and
yeah.
there's just dude. That's the thing is like educating, like
Yeah.
and knowing what all these different compounds do, and knowing what they do to you because what it does to me might not do to you, like and it's just it's a huge thing, dude. It's a huge thing about learning yourself, learning what works for you, self-realization, man. So like nobody dude, nobody just sits and just thinks about what's good for them anymore.
Mm. You're right. It's more like what's gonna make me look good.
hmm Or what's gonna make me feel good,
Sure.
like
Yeah.
versus like what is actually good for me long term, like
Yeah.
meditate, dude, meditate. Like people don't meditate, and like I'm not talking cross your legs and do the whole no, dude, but like get out in nature, go watch some sunsets, or some sunrises. Like place yourself in these uncomfortable positions in
Mm.
nature, dude. And the world tends to teach you things, is what I've learned. Like and that all goes back to like mushrooms and stuff, dude. Like every time I've had a bad trip, like I need to learn it's not a bad trip. It's showing me something that I wasn't quite ready for or
Mm.
needed to know and didn't want to like manifest in my own self, like, oh, you're fucking up, dude. Like, and I'm gonna show you exactly how you're fucking up. And you're not
Yeah.
you're not gonna be ready for it, but you need to see it, And so like every time someone's like, "Oh, I had a bad trip," I'm like, "Did you have a bad trip, or did you learn some shit about yourself you weren't ready to learn?" Like,
Right.
that's the thing. Like, you have to have good intentions going into these trips and using these substances because it can get dark very quick. you're your own worst enemy. You know, our brain is crazy complex. You know, there's we still we have $1 million researchers that still don't know everything. You know, like be careful. You know, use go with caution. You know, like that's why like I don't trip a lot. You know, but when I do, I make sure I'm in the right headspace for it. I do my preps and I make sure I'm around good people. Generally out in nature. I don't like tripping in the city or in buildings. You know, like
Yeah.
I like to be in nature. I like to lay down, connect with the earth, dude. Like, shit, you know, not eat 14 grams and lock myself in a dark room like Terrence McKenna. That guy's a psycho crazy dude. Like the works he did, dude. I'm like, bro, you're a wild one, man. Like you're
Yeah.
doing heroic doses and like just shutting yourself into a pitch black room. I bet like you saw some shit. You know what I mean, dude? Like that's just mind blowing to me for sure.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, I mean, I believe you're like tapping into another realm, a parallel realm, and you can encounter some really dark things, and maybe even
Hmm.
it's just darkness that's within yourself. And the more you try to fight it and like and try to turn away from this quote unquote bad trip, the worse it gets. You know, you have to like
Yep.
surrender. And
Never fight it.
right. Yeah. And that's something that comes with experience for sure. And you know, from I don't do it a lot either, man. And but the times that I do, it's nature or it's inward. I have this blindfold. It's called a mindfold, and it
Hmm.
blacks you out. And you can open your eyes inside, and inside it's still pitch black. So if you're like
Yeah.
kind of if it's too intense, you can open your eyes, but it's still black. And
Hmm.
I call that like going inward, and
Yeah.
I figure shit out. You know, I figure out things, and I'm able to heal and overcome. I've had some really dark uh, times in this last year or two, and like I came out here to thinking that geographical changes were gonna be the solution to my problems, and like everywhere I go, I'm still there, and I've been struggling, man, and that those tools have been the saving grace for sure,
Hmm.
for sure.
Yeah, dude. You know, it's you know, dude, a lot of like just self-materializing things, man. You know, you speak it, you
Mm,
think it, and it'll manifest, you know. And so, you know, moving geographically is great, but then you gotta just manifest it too, dude. Like, you know, you can't dwell. Like that's another thing that humans are like just like I said, we're our own worst enemy, man. Like we just get stuck and dwell on the past and beat
yeah,
ourselves up for things that like we can't do anything about. We can't change it. You know, these things have happened. You have to forgive yourself and if possible, ask for forgiveness for the people or you know that you've hurt. But
yeah,
can't beat ourselves up. You know, man. We can only move forward and try and be a better person so that we don't make these mistakes again, dude. You know, and we're all human, man. We all make mistakes. It's part of life, dude. Show like that's another thing, dude. Just show each other some compassion, you know. Like we're so quick to like jump the gun and get on somebody's ass when they fuck up. And it's like, dude, like, you were just fucking up the other day, but like,
right.
you know, like I didn't
And
get
in
on your
some
head
other
about
way,
it.
some other trivial way too, like
Yeah.
they compare their problems, like you know, so perhaps like
Mhm.
their struggle is alcohol, but they see someone with a substance, and they're like they look down on it, right? You know,
And it's like, dude, you're all in the same boat, bro. It's all
right?
addiction. Addiction is addiction is addiction, man. Like, you know,
Yeah,
I grew
man.
up in like AA and A meetings and stuff, dude. Again, my whole family's addicts. So like, bro, I've learned the big book. I could work those steps. Like, you know what I mean, dude? I know all that. Like
Mm,
maybe that is like had something to do with the way I think and you know, but addiction is addiction, bro. It doesn't matter how you spin it, bro. Like a person drinking every night of the week is just as bad as someone fucking hot railing, dude. Like it's all bad.
hot
You know
rails.
what I mean? Like you know what I mean, dude? It's all bad, dude.
Yeah,
Like
man. At the end of the
you're
day, it's a poison.
it's
It's
self
poison.
abuse, dude. It's self abuse. You know, you're trying to run away from something, cover up something, hide something. You know, like sometimes it's hard to be real with yourself, man. You know,
Mm,
like it is really hard to be real with yourself. You know, dude, that's something that I feel everybody struggles with, like, including me, man. Like, it's hard, you know, but sometimes you just got to do it. And
yeah, dude.
that's where these substances do play a part. Like sometimes it kind of allows us to like tear down those walls and just accept things, you know.
Yeah, brother. You know, and that's why I'm very grateful that these days there are a lot of psychologists that are offering what they call integration or shadow work or whatever. The place that I work with that's going to eventually offer the MDMA, I'm able to openly speak and have these conversations that I'm having with you, but with a therapist, which feels really foreign. But at the same time, it's beautiful because they're supportive in using those tools. And
Hmm.
what I've come to learn is like that these parts of me I'm like pretending they don't exist and I'm not making space for them, and that's why they come back in full force, you know, and that darkness is a part of me and it always will be a part of me, and I can't just pretend that I'm not that person anymore. I'm still that fucking person. I'm still the person that did all those things, and I have to learn how to integrate that part of me, you know, and have balance and harmony within myself and stop pretending, you know, wearing a
Yeah, dude.
mask.
I feel like when we try and cover up our fuck ups and erase our history, it's like, dude, you're bound to repeat it. It's
Yeah,
You
dude.
have to just accept that it's happened. It's part of you. Like these things
Mm.
exist, Like I could try and cover up and not think about all the like shit that my I went through as a child, and but at the end of the day, it's like, is that gonna solve anything? Is that gonna fix anything? No, man. Like that's just fucking putting a rose on a corpse, I'm just making something pretty that's really shit, like
Mm.
there's nothing healthy in that, that's why that goes down to like people self-medicating, man, like it's crazy how like one substance could be two ends of the same sword, like in one instance you can use it to like totally self-deprecate and like bring yourself down and like literally kill yourself,
Yeah.
and on the other end that substance could completely uplift you and like make you a completely better person. It just depends on the headspace you're in and the intent that you go in with it,
Mm.
like look at ketamine, dude. Like that's a really big one that's been popping off over the
Yeah.
past few years. Like it's a fucking horse tranquilizer, but then people use it as a party drug. But then also you have like these researchers who are showing like no, ketamine can be used to like really help with like clinical depression and shit too. So it's like where do we draw the line? Like
Right.
on a lot of these instances, because that frat boy who's doing lines of ketamine might be trying to like work through something and not even know that he's trying to work
Right.
through it. And so he's craving this substance because it's helping him work through it. But then also it's tearing him down because he's using it to cover like it's a lot of gray area, for me for sure, because growing up with a family of abusers and substance abusers, it's you learn to see both ends of it, like most people can go to the bar on a Friday night and have a drink or two and relax.
Mm.
And then other people, it's like they got to go through a bottle a day or they shake to death. Like,
Yeah.
it's crazy, you know?
Yeah, brother. Yeah. You're totally right. I've seen people come into treatment at work and their substance of choice is ketamine, you know, and then I'm over here getting it injected with a doctor and stopping myself from killing myself. And
Hmm.
literally that like that's the one thing, the biggest thing that I can say about my firsthand experience with that is like a light switch for suicidal thoughts. Literally turns them off, bro, within a heartbeat. And you might be able to replicate that at home on your couch too, and maybe that
Yeah.
is what
Yeah.
that person is doing that comes in, you know, and they're not realizing it. And my history, our histories, everyone's history with substance abuse, it very well may be the reason why you're still here today was because you had to get through, that was your coping mechanism, right? And you needed
Yeah.
it to get through those hard times, you know, but you just didn't know where that line was.
Definitely, dude.
You
Like I
know.
said, like, I was on Ritalin at age 4, dude, Wellbutrin at age 6. And for some people, those work wonders for them, dude. But for me, it was causing me to hear voices in my head telling me to hurt myself and hurt others,
Damn.
and like I was like self-harm, that was a big thing in my life. Like that's one of the reasons I'm doing this tattoo, is like cover up. Like I don't,
Mm.
it's like, that's my own battle, and so like that's when started smoking weed and like I stopped hearing those voices, and I took myself off of Ritalin, Wellbutrin. I said, I like this it was gonna kill me, dude. Like what 9-year-olds should be thinking of these things? Like they shouldn't be,
Mm-mm.
and modern pharmacies are just so like ready to just write scripts for people, because it's all money game, and that's why like I really am grateful for these people who are setting up these programs because like they're in it for like the actual benefit, they're here to see people succeed
Mm.
and really work through these issues. I went through a lot of therapy and psychiatry, and a lot of them I just felt like they were there for a paycheck,
Yes.
like oh, I care about you. Tell me all your feelings. Like, yeah, I'm so sorry. Oh, and it's time. Get the fuck out of my office.
Here's
You
no
know, like,
solution is either.
yeah, exactly. Just tell me all
Let
your
me open
problems.
your wounds and not close them.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. You know, and so now I see like a whole like shift on like the way people are thinking, and it's cool. It's definitely cool. You know.
Bro, that hurts my heart because I'm real familiar with both of those medications, and I don't think any child should be on either of those fucking medications.
Yeah,
And not to mention, they're both stimulants. You know, one's
exactly, dude.
supposedly an antidepressant, but it's got a black box warning, and it's a fucking stimulant. So one, it can kill
Yep.
you, and you've got two types of stimulants, and one of them's an amphetamine. Like, no shit, your invoice is, bro.
And not to mention
No
that
shit, you're losing your mind.
my whole family struggles with amphetamine. It's just
Ah,
like my whole
huh,
family's are we're tweakers, dude. We all do meth,
right.
you know. Besides my dad, he was a heroin addict, you know.
Uh,
But at the end of the day, it didn't matter, you know. So yeah, dude, it's like it's crazy to think like knowing my family's history of amphetamine addiction and like
mm,
all of these things. Like my mom has bipolar schizophrenia, you know. She's been self-medicating with meth since fucking 12 years old. She's 50 years old. That's 40 years of meth usage, you know. Like she acts more normal on it than without it, you know.
uh.
And so like it's just it's crazy that like doctors would set you up to fail like that. That's why like I promised myself I would never, you know, like I if it comes from the earth, cool. But if it's like the furthest I've gone is like MDMA, you know. I know that's got a method, you know, it's you know, but I I can't. I just can never allow myself to go down that hole because I know I'd probably really like it, and I
Yeah,
just
bro.
can't do it, dude. Can't do it. I just stay natural, man. I smoke a little bit of weed, a lot of bit of weed. um, do a little bit of mushrooms here and there. Not a big fan of acid. Never was. You know, man. That one's a bit too much for me.
It can be. Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, I love Nas, man. That was my shit for a minute, but I know it's so
Woo!
bad. So no more hippie crack for me, dude.
Uh,
Yeah, man. You know, I know addiction runs in my family, dude. Like, so I've made a commitment to myself, like, just do this. You'll be okay. You know, man. And it's been working. I still struggle, dude. You know,
yeah.
everybody struggles with their mental health. I feel, you know, everybody. I don't care who you are, dude. If you say your mental health is 100%, like that's a big red flag, dude. Like put
Uh-huh.
that motherfucker in the penitentiary. Like, you know, dude. Like, nah, man. Like nobody's 100, bro. We all struggle. We all have stripes. Like it's okay, dude. That's why we need to have support systems, you know, and be able to express things to people that you care about and that care about you, you know. Like definitely building a support system, being able to talk about things is a huge, huge thing, you know, for sure.
Yeah, yeah, brother. And you know, I've taken some slack for having these kinds of conversations, but this is the reason I started this podcast was to have this exact type of conversation that we're having right now. And I'm really grateful that this is the comeback episode, man, because this is the direction I want to go back into. And this is what's helping me right now. This is the only reason why I'm still fucking here, bro. Like it makes me want to cry. Like, you know, and I want to I'll probably put like a little warning in the beginning and let people know like the gardeners, this episode might not be for you, you know,
Yeah, yeah,
but like you said, you're lying if you say you don't have these problems. You're lying, you know?
yeah, bro.
And
I I can't think of a single person who doesn't have a family member in one way, shape, or form who struggles with addiction
mm,
or mental health. You know, dude, this country is it seems to be founded on mental health issues, dude. Like, you know, and
mhm.
it just seems like it just gets worse and worse, man, with every generation. And you know, there's a reason for it, dude. Like this country's a machine, man, and if you're not making money in it, it's gonna chew you up and spit you out, bro. You know,
Yeah, man.
and that's the sad reality of it. You know, we live in a capitalistic country where you gotta make money, you gotta provide, dude. And that alone takes a huge toll on everybody's mental health. You know, we're all under stress, like constantly. You know,
Yeah.
you gotta perform, and if you don't, later.
Yeah, bro. You know, Dr. Gabor Mate said that this system, if you wanted to design a system that would make mental health and addiction worse, he would have designed the system that we have now currently in the United States.
Yeah, totally. It, and you know what's and the sad part is like this is one of the best systems that we have on the like in this world, in my
Sure,
opinion. You know, because you look
sure.
at other countries and it's like, yeah, they don't complain about mental health because they're worried about getting their tongues ripped out of their mouths for
For
speaking out of
speech.
term, or like, yeah,
Right.
or like getting their hands cut off because they took a loaf of bread to feed their family. It's like, yeah, no wonder they're not talking about mental health issues. It's because it's crazy everywhere throughout this world, man. Like, it's just the human condition to struggle, apparently, But I've come to terms with it, man, and it's cool. I'm here to struggle in my own way.
Yeah,
And it's
man.
all right, dude. It's all right. That's one of the things that makes life beautiful, man, is it's all a struggle. We're all struggling together. Like, that's why we're all on the same boat. We got to support each other, man, and stop beating each other up over small things, let things slide, like we're only human, you know?
Yeah, and like these tensions and that and like beefs and cliques within the community that have formed over the years that I've noticed, and like people have kind of like created their own little things, and I hope that we can kind of reach out and come back together and put all that stuff aside, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, like we're a community, man, and we're all here because we love plants, you know? And
Yeah.
it hurts me to see that, you know, where it's like, you know, it's too cool or whatever, or people disrespect each other even over the
Hmm.
poaching thing. They disrespect each other and they put each other on blast, and then sometimes they're even wrong about it. Like I
Yeah.
saw
Yeah.
something recently where they were coming after this guy that supposedly was poaching, and then I talked to someone privately about it, and the guy was not fucking poaching plants,
Hmm.
you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And they almost destroyed his business,
Yeah.
blasting
Yeah.
him.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's
I
just
remember,
like,
dude. Yeah, I remember like just at like the last LA cactus and succulent show, dude. Like a whole lot of growers and vendors got put on blast for bringing in poached plants, and then dude, where's the line? Like this dude's had this plant in his collection for 60 years. Like there
right.
wasn't even any laws pertaining to this back then. It doesn't make it ethically right. But like then again, if this dude didn't take that plant out of habitat, well, he's been producing seed for the last 60 years for this whole community. Like
Right.
we wouldn't have half of the plants in the community if it wasn't for this said like, you know what I mean, dude? So like you gotta pick and like choose your battles. Like really the big battle, like, dude, someone like taking a plant for like seed production and shit, like if you can get the permits or like, whatever, cool. Versus like you have these people coming in and like literally decimating whole populations of plants for profit, for
Yeah,
profitable
that's
gain
sick. No,
on.
that's sick
Yeah,
and it's criminal.
exactly, exactly. Versus like someone who's like, dang, we don't ever see this species in like habitat. Like, well, bring up two flowering plants and produce seed. Like that's what so many of these people did back then. Like, and then where's the line? Like,
All
where's
the
the line?
plants in our collections originated from somebody field collecting it. Every single one.
Exactly. Either field collecting seed or field collecting a specimen or a part of a specimen to graft with. Like, no matter what, dude, like all of these plants, if it's not native to your area and growing in your yard, it came from somewhere, it came from somewhere
Yeah, man.
at the end of the day. Like, so yeah, it's the thing with poaching, dude. It's a very gray area for sure in a lot of manners. And then in a lot of manners, it's just like, no, don't do it.
Yeah, man. I would love to spend a couple of minutes on what you think about this, and then I want to hear a little bit about Slab City, if you don't mind, because and I feel like this relates because, you know, as we were talking about society and the problems in society today, the big mental health crisis, which we've completely turned our backs on the homeless community, right? And it's just growing exponentially and at infinitum, and there is no end in sight, you know. And if you look at downtown LA, it's out of control, right? and
Yeah,
and
dude.
people have just turned their backs on it. A lot of people like to just complain about it. You know, one side says like lock them up and throw away the key, and then the other side says, you know, like they're people too. Like
Yeah, dude.
leave them
What's
there. Let them suffer on the streets and let them die on the streets is pretty much what they're saying. They're not saying it like that, but
help them? Yeah.
what their
Yeah.
solution is just leave them there. You know, let them do this, and there's no common ground. And I feel like my opinion on homeless people is that I kind of admire their lifestyle because they have no worries, bro.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
not paying bills, they're not
Nope.
paying taxes, they're
Nope.
not working and grinding. They're out there living the way
Mhm.
people were supposed to live,
Yeah.
the way that we always did, you know. But it just doesn't look so pretty. But
No,
you know
dude,
what I
they're
mean?
they're the smart ones, really, dude.
Right?
At the end of the
They've
day, like,
unplugged from the
yeah,
Matrix.
yeah, like most of they don't even got a social number, dude. Like, you know what I
uh,
mean? Like, Yeah, bro. Dude, my grandfather was a military veteran, dude, served in the Navy for 21 years during Vietnam.
Mm-hmm.
And it upsets me, dude, that like our country has turned our back on a lot of veterans, man. I don't necessarily agree with the war machine, for sure. I think all life is sacred, and like it's not anything to be taken lightly with, but these people they sacrificed a lot, like they saw a lot of shit, dude, like watching their own brothers die in front of them, shit like that, man. And then you're just gonna let them rot on the
Right.
street because they got health issues, like mental health issues, and they don't necessarily conform to your idea of what society should be. Yeah,
Mm.
no shit, they don't. You train them to be a killing machine, and then you expect them to just
Mm.
come back and work at fucking Chick-fil-A. Like, no, dude, and so like that it makes me sick, dude. It makes me sick to my stomach. Like I've faced homelessness, dude. My family has faced homelessness. Like I
Mm.
have friends and I have friends who are homeless on the street as I speak, bro. Like people I consider very near and dear to me who are, suffering through addiction, had a really shit time in life, bro, and they're human, dude. Like one of my best friends, my brother, who like pretty much raised me, got me into like plants, dude. He got me into plants, electronic music, bikes, every like all of my shit comes from him, dude. And he's out on the street right now, bro, homeless,
Mm.
because like he's taking care of his mom. She passed away, and he struggles with addiction, dude. But he's the most kindest, most gentle fucking soul on the planet that I know, dude. He'd give his shirt off his back to anybody who asked for it.
Mm-hmm.
And it just sucks that like we turn on our backs on these people, dude. Like we have all these fucking homes that are just sitting empty, dude. Think of all those like old military homes out in Seal Beach, dude. They just sit empty,
Oh.
You be
Yep.
putting people in there, bro. Like,
Yep.
oh, but they're gonna tear it up, they're gonna destroy it. Dude, what's it doing there anyways right now, bro? Like,
They've got acres too. They got thousands of
yeah,
acres in Seal Beach,
yeah,
bro.
yeah, dude. Or like if you're not familiar with the campus homes at USC, dude, those were all built for veterans. That's why it's
Mm.
called Veteran Lane, dude. But then USC forced all the veterans out to put students in there. It's like
Mm.
it's crazy bonkers, like what's happened. Like just because these people don't fit into the ideology of like what is a societal norm. Like I probably just barely keep it enough, like together enough to keep myself off the streets, dude. It's hard. Like I don't want to be a functioning member of the society. I
Mm.
hate it, dude. I hate the machine. I hate the
Me too.
grind, bro. I want to just be fucking living out in the middle of nowhere, growing my own food with my own people, and just living how we're supposed to be off the land. But the reality of that is becoming less and less every day, in this
Yeah,
in
bro.
this world. So yeah, dude, we've got to do something. I don't have the plan. I don't
Sure.
think anybody really does. But
Sure.
dude, this country can send a whole lot of money to other countries outside and all this shit, but can't take care of their own. It's like,
Right. Billions, hundreds of billions
yeah,
of
yeah,
dollars to the
dude,
war machine, but
and
they
it's
can't
our money.
fucking do anything for us.
Yeah, no, and that's what's crazy is it's our money that we work for and made for them, and
You know, if you make under
dude,
$100,000, you're considered it's no longer middle class.
no, yeah,
You're like below
you're
the
poor.
poverty line.
Yeah, yeah, dude. 100K in California is middle class, and I
Right.
don't know too many people making 100 grand, bro,
Uh-uh.
like on their own, let alone in a combined household. Even, dude, most combined households are barely making like 80, 90K with like two parents working full-time jobs. Like, dude,
Yep.
it's insane, man. Like I'm getting paid like $4 above minimum wage, like 21,
Mm.
22 an hour,
Mm.
and I'm still only making like 50, 60 grand a year, dude. Like
Yeah.
how are we supposed, it's just, dude, like the American dream is long gone, dude. Like,
Yeah, man.
and what sucks is like all these generations before us got to reap the benefits and like just left us with a fucking shit situation
Yeah,
to
man.
to the point where we have people living on the streets and like droves, like making their own cities out in the middle of nowhere, like Slab City, dude. Like,
Yeah.
fuck it, we're tired. We're moving out to the middle of nowhere and starting our own little city, and you can't tell us shit, man.
Right, bro.
Good for them, bro. Like they may all be addicts and junkies out there, but at least they're happy. Like fuck,
Absolutely.
I can't.
Absolutely. What
Like
was your
they're doing it.
experience with that place?
It was cool, man. Like it's cool going to Slab City, dude. It's interesting, man. I don't even want to say too much
Yeah, I
because
know
like
it's on the low.
you
It's
just
like it's
you
respect.
just
We want to respect that community at the
yeah,
same time.
dude. But if you can get out there, man, get out there, dude. Like I wish more people would go and see. what's going on out there, dude. Like these people have their own little commune pretty much, bro, and they're just living life, dude. Like everyone respects each other for the most part. There's never really nothing crazy. Like it looks crazy out there. Like, it looks insane, bro. It looks like you're in
Sure.
like a war zone, but friendly motherfuckers,
It's like the
just
rubble. It's like the rubble
yeah,
of
yeah,
a
dude.
war zone.
And you just got some like Gandalf wizard looking fuck coming up on a like half broken bike and like telling you like, oh, come back to my pad. Let's drink. Let's like
They
dude. Like
got raves out
yeah,
there too, right?
yeah, bro. Yeah,
Yeah,
dude. They
they're
throw
raving.
shows. Like it gets crazy. Like if you pull up with like a bottle of something, to like share with people, like bring some goodies, like that's what,
Gifts for the
yeah,
people.
some gifts, dude, like, and you do that and you'll be all right. Nobody will fuck with you out there, like just come right, come proper, dude, it's like, it's like any other place, like you get
Yeah.
invited to a birthday party, you don't show up without a present,
Mm.
like
Well,
it's definitely one of those things.
like you were saying earlier, what did you say? Oh, like we can't do anything about, like, what can we do about it? I think the only thing we can do about it is at least to make it easier for them. Like we've had to come to accepting that this is our reality and no
Yep.
politician's gonna fix it. Damn near no freaking politician, no program, no
Mm,
bill, none of
nope.
that shit is gonna fix it, dude. But what we can do, why when I go to Skid Row, are the only people that I see out there churches and ex-cons
Yep.
and
Yeah.
ex-homeless people. It's
Yep.
all that's the only people that are out there serving their community. The businessmen are not looking
Nope.
and walking with their head straight. They pretend it's not there, and they get in their fucking Tesla and whatever, and they go up to
Yeah.
their
Yeah.
loft in the fucking city,
Yep.
and it's
Yeah.
like we could at least be out there like contributing and being there for our brothers and sisters that are on the streets, and making it a little bit less painful for them while they're there. Gifts, like you said, gifts are is a perfect example. I would love to see fruit trees out there. I would love to see more community gardens for them.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
people out there
Just
caring. Show them
dude,
that you
just treat
love
them.
them.
Yeah, treat them like people, dude. Like I said, dude, like people have this disconnect. Like a homeless person is not a person. Like they're an
Right.
object to them. Like they're just something that's bringing the property value down. And it's like, dude, like that's a person. That's someone's son or daughter,
Mm.
brother, sister, mother, father, uncle, cousin. Like that's a person, dude. Like a whole person, man.
That
And like you're
had
just
a life and
yeah,
dreams and ambitions just
yeah,
like you.
aspirations,
Right.
and life just fucking beat them down so hard that they gave up, dude.
Right.
Like, remember that. Like, I tell people, like, people who, when I hear people talk like that about homeless people, I'm like, dude, don't, like, you don't know what they've been through, what the fucked up shit they've seen or had done to them. Like, man, like, everybody has a story to tell, man. And it's asinine of us to even try and, like, put ourselves in someone else's shoe. I always hear, oh, walk a mile in their shoes, put yourself in how the fuck can I put myself in their shoes, dude? I'm not
Mm.
them, And so at the end of the day, like I just want to treat people like they're people, bro, with some respect and
Yeah.
compassion, like but it's hard, bro, because a lot of them again are like they're out there, bro. They're lost. They're on
Yeah.
these, dude. A lot of them are on fentanyl, especially a lot lately, man. And
Yeah.
like it's just rough, dude. It's rough. I've lost some friends to fentanyl, man. Like
Mm.
it's rough, dude. It's rough seeing it. Like this drug is like killing long-term addicts. Like people have been doing crack for 30 years and hit fentanyl once and just drop dead. It's like
Yeah,
this
bro.
shit's horrible. It's wiping out people, dude. And I really think that was almost planned in an
Oh,
instance.
okay. So
Oh
they did the crack thing. They did the CIA has already.
yeah.
It's
And
already
now
been
yeah,
proven that the
crack
CIA did the
epidemic.
crack
Yep.
epidemic, and we're gonna sit here and try to think that fentanyl isn't the same fucking the same. It's the same playbook. It's the same
Yeah, dude.
exact fucking playbook, and they're doing it
Yeah.
again, but with something that knocks you out, kills you,
Yeah.
takes you
Yep.
out.
Yeah. There's that
Why is
old
it in the
saying,
meth? Why is it in the
if you
meth? Why?
it's in everything,
Why is it
dude.
in the coke?
It's in the weed now, dude.
Why
Like
is
that's
it
what's
in the
fucking
weed?
crazy. Like, dude. There's that always saying, if you ever hear someone say, "We're from the government, we're here to help," fucking run. Dude. Like fucking run, bro. Like, because it's true, man. Like, government never has our best interests at heart,
Mm,
really.
mm.
Dude. It's all about personal monetization and how they can make money and gain influence, dude. Like who was that? There's this comedian who said, I wish politicians would wear all their sponsors on their jackets like NASCAR.
Uh-huh.
So at least we know who fucking owned them, dude? Like
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. It's crazy, man.
They
Like,
profit off
just
that homelessness continuing. Those
yeah,
homeless
yeah,
foundations, quote unquote, all the people at the top are pocketing all that money, dude, and they're
yeah.
driving around in Teslas and living in mansions. Let me
and
tell
they
you.
and they run it as a nonprofit, so they don't pay any
Yes.
tax or anything like that, dude. I know, dude. It's horrible. It's scum. It's scum, fucking people, scum ideology, and it's sad, dude. It's sad again how far removed people have become from being a human, just
They
being a
don't want to
basic
fix
human,
it.
dude.
They do not
No,
want to
dude.
fix it, and they will not fix it.
And like, and even just fuck fixing it, bro. Just be a basic human,
Right.
man.
Right.
You see someone sleeping on the street, man, like, like don't kick them, or if a
Yeah.
homeless dude asks you for some change, like even if you don't have the money, just at least acknowledge them. Hey, man, I don't got it. Sorry, just fucking treat them like people, dude. It's just, it's a disconnect. It's a huge disconnect, bro.
The sickest thing, and we'll wrap up here in a moment. The sickest thing I've ever seen on social media, well, hmm, debatable, but it was fucking sick. It was called Egg the Tweaker, and it was this account that was driving around Skid Row, throwing eggs at homeless people, bro,
I seen that shit,
smoking them
dude.
out with their
And
diesel truck.
it's like it's so fucked up, bro.
It's
Because
so
like
fucked
I
up,
can't
dude.
I can't help but laugh either, though, dude.
I
Like
know.
something like something in you is just like fuck, that's fucked up, but it's funny, dude. But like fuck, dude, those are
Yeah,
people,
man.
bro. Yeah, those are people, dude. Like the I don't know if you've seen that other account on Instagram. It's called Bums and Drones, and it's just a dude
Uh-uh.
flying around his drone and like going to homeless encampments and shit, and just like fucking with them with his drone, and
Oh
it's like
man.
I can't help but
Entertaining.
watch.
It's entertaining,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, dude, because you get some knotted out motherfucker like throwing spears at a fucking, dude. It's like,
Like some indigenous dude in the Amazon.
yeah, dude, yeah. Like you just cannot help but like just be entertained. And you're like, damn, though, bro. Like I'm fucking laughing at this. Why? Like
Right.
if I was there in person, I wouldn't be laughing. Like like I don't know, man. It's just something about seeing something from the other side of a screen just in enables that disconnect.
Dehumanizes
And
it. Yeah.
exactly, dude. Exactly. Growing up on the internet in the early 2000s, dude, you hop on fucking live leaks and shit and watch cartel videos, dude. Like that was
Right.
just something you and the homies did. Like,
Terrorist
why?
beheadings.
Yeah, dude. Like, and that's another thing. Like, we've been so programmed to like remove the human like aspect of people, dude. Like,
Mm,
we are numbers. We are numbers. You're assigned a number the day you're born, and you will be
mm.
that number the day you die. Like,
Yeah.
and that's all there is to it, dude. And it's sad, but that's why it's up to us, man. It's up to us to take care of our communities and try and help each other out, and just talk, man. Nobody communicates anymore, man. Nobody talks, dude. It's just I need it done this way. You're gonna do it this way for me, or that's it. Like,
Mm.
and just communication is such a big aspect of human life, dude. And if you can't communicate, then it's not gonna be easy for you, man. You have to be able to communicate. And
Mm. I don't think they want us to, but
no,
no one's gonna remember us, man, for how much we grinded or how much materialistic shit we had or whatever multi-thousand-dollar plant we had. They're
nope.
gonna remember us for the content of our character, and you're a fucking beautiful human being, man. I'm so glad we did this, dude.
I
Like
appreciate it,
for
man, dude.
real, bro. You're a
No,
real
dude.
one.
I just try and stay grounded, bro, and not get too big of britches, bro, and just kind of just stay humble, bro. Like, dude, I'm a trailer trash redneck. Grew up,
Hell yeah.
dirty ghetto kid, bro. Like, I'm not better than anyone. No one's better than me, though, either. Like, dude, like we're all people, bro.
Mm.
We're all people. Like, dude,
You
it's
remember
crazy,
where you
man.
came from, though. That's
Yeah,
that's that's what sets you apart. You know.
yeah, man. It's crazy, dude. Like, one of the big things is like people who like, dude, I'm white and like I get talked a lot of shit from other white people, dude, because of how I look, the way I carry myself, the people dude, and their in a lot of people's opinion, like I'm a waste of white skin is what they see, dude. So like they hate me more than like anything, bro, because
Mm.
like I was born with that privilege and I don't use it. I don't,
You got the
I got
dreads.
yeah, dude. I get a lot of
Disgrace to the
shit.
white race, brother.
Yeah, exactly, bro. And a lot of people like laugh it off and joke about it, like and I'm like, no, dude, like this is serious, bro. Like white people
Yeah.
are fucked up to me, bro. And then like I got a black dude who comes into my shop and he's all dreadlocked out, bro, and we click, bro. Like we
Huh.
talk, like You know, like I'm a
Uh,
brother to him. Like I'm his, like we're brothers. Like, you know, like
right.
that's what it's about, bro. Like we're all
Yeah.
human, bro. We're all related. We're all family, bro. If I cut you, we all bleed the same, bro. We all cry the same. We all
Uh-huh.
hurt the same, dude. Like nobody's better than anybody, dude. You know, I was blessed to grow up in like a multiracial house where like my brother's black, dude. You know,
Mm.
he's half black, half white. So like I had a really big disconnect growing up, like not understanding racism to its full like potential. You know, I was like,
Mm.
it just didn't make sense in my head. I
Didn't
was like,
exist in your world.
yeah, bro.
Right.
I'm like, that's my brother. So what?
Yeah.
He's a different skin color. That's my brother. You know, like
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. You know,
Mm.
and so it was just interesting, dude. Like growing up in this world, seeing like, nah, dude, all this shit is still very much alive. You know, and like
Mm-hmm.
it's just it's almost human nature to kind of want to like click yourself in with your own kind, dude. But like, can't do that. Can't do
Mm.
that, man. Especially in this country, and especially in the state that we live in, the city we live in, dude. We're a melting pot, man.
Yeah,
Everybody just
brother.
needs to learn. Like we're all human, bro. We all got to get along, dude. They're trying to divide us, and we can't let that happen. You know,
Yeah, this red
because
versus blue shit is dead, man.
yeah,
Abandon both
dude.
parties. Vote independent or don't vote at all. I don't give a
Yep,
shit. But definitely don't
yep,
vote for those monsters in charge. They're two heads of the same fucking beast.
yep.
You
Exactly, dude. It's all bad, bro.
know?
It's all bad. But you know what, man? We can make it better. You know, and it's our job to do so. You know,
Yes.
by
Yes.
uplifting our communities, uplifting our friends and families, and just making sure we're all taking care of each other. You know, all looking out for each other and having each other's backs. You know, dude. I just
Yeah,
wish
brother.
there was more of that in this world because it sucks seeing all the negativity all the time, man. For
Yeah,
sure.
man. It's amplified. But
Yep.
hopefully this is a little bit of light in your darkness. Some kind of light
Right.
into your darkness today. It's
Nah, dude.
fucking
I'm so stoked for this, dude. We've been trying to get this going for a minute, and it's just man, life gets in the way, dude. And sometimes we just gotta slow down and make the time, for
yeah,
sure.
man. We came up with all kinds of excuses not to do today. You know what I mean?
But it still got done. You know what I mean,
It
dude?
did.
So,
It did. And it happened organically, man. And
know,
it's better than I could have imagined. So thank you, bro. I'm excited to lay it down, and I don't have any editing to do. I'm just gonna throw down an intro, and I'm gonna try to get this shit out there tonight.
woo, sick,
I'll let you
dude.
know that. Hey, can you send me a photo? And also, do you prefer like the name to be Nobody
Yeah,
or
you could run nobody, bro. That's
okay,
totally cool, dude.
okay,
Yeah, man.
cool.
Don't mind it at all, bro. And you need a picture, like just a thumbnail,
Yeah, thumbnail for the cover.
for
It can
sure,
be
for
you.
sure.
It can be something you love. I don't care, whatever it is, you know?
Oh, show. It'll probably be some cactus then.
Cool. All right, brother. Thank you so much for your time.
Of course, bro. Anytime, dude. We gotta get on here and do like one with you, me, and Freeze. That'd
I
be a
would
cool
love
one.
that. No,
For
I
sure.
would love that,
For sure.
man. You know, and I feel like we could do this fractally. Like,
I'm
yeah, you
down.
have like, even if we just honed in on one of those things that we talked about, like your prospecting and stuff. And yeah, how can people support you? You're offering like rocks and crystals to the public. Yeah,
Yeah, dude. I don't have any like Etsy or anything. I really need to
sure,
get on that, man. But I'll post some sales on my story occasionally. It's
cool.
just I've been so wrapped up with work, dude.
Yeah,
I
bro.
have stuff I'm just sitting on and it just needs to be cleaned, and
Mm.
I'll definitely be posting some stuff soon. Springtime is usually when I'll get active because everybody's repotting and restaging stuff.
Cool, brother. Well, also, like, I'm trying to do some. I've been talking about it for too long. I'm gonna go to start being about it. But I'm trying to do some like little pop ups on the side of the road, and I'm trying to do the Topanga Farmers Market. And I would love to have some
Yeah,
crystals, like just to kind of like go with it. I think they complement plants really well, but also like
definitely.
it's for sale. So if you would like to consign some stuff, maybe we can talk about that another time. And we can
Definitely,
just
dude.
have some stuff on the table. And if someone buys it, great.
Yeah, dude. I'm down to hook you up, bro.
Cool.
Always.
Cool, brother. All right. If everyone could please like, review, and subscribe to the podcast and hit that share button, we would both appreciate that greatly.
Yes,
Peace.
yes. Later.